Hello everyone, One Dragon here. Today I'll be going over the variations of the Arasaka or Devil ending and the Missable deets that I'm aware of. Aside from the suicide ending, the Arasaka or Devil ending is the only guaranteed ending in Cyberpunk, as you can lock yourself out of the other three by siding with
Idea with the
Sol and
basilisk
betraying
shit.
Panam.
I don't like it.
Nor do I, nor do the others. So join the clan. I don't mean that.
Panam swayed Cassidy, Carol, and the others to help her grab the basilisk.
Fuck! She will never learn. How many more have to die before she hangs it up? Stop scheming.
Panam's got good intentions.
Panam has no idea what she's doing. The Raffins will not let up. And she wants to bring Militech down on our asses.
Doesn't look great, no.
Why have you come to me with this? I thought you'd be on her side.
Just seemed like you'd want to know.
Uh-huh, I would. Because it seems to me, Panam wants to oust me.
Panam's got good intentions, I'm sure.
Breaking up the clan is never good. I'll be in touch.
Fuck, V! How could you?
Hey, glad you called.
Do you seriously not know? Or did you pull some other shit thing besides ratting me out to Saul?
You had a shit idea, I told you as much.
Right, yes. Thank you for your impeccable advice. Yet you might have stopped there and fucked off instead of also planting a knife in my back.
It's all your fault. Can't believe it, actually. To put the whole clan at risk, just to prove to Saul that you were right? Panam?
Do you know what, V? Fuck you.
Or failing to save Sol in the first place. And refusing to forgive Johnny at the oil fields.
It was me. Lied to me. I can't trust you at all.
Is it too late to ask for a second chance?
Too late. This was your second chance. You died, came back, and still had no idea what to do with it all.
Think you're right.
Can we go now?
Sure, won't keep you. Want to go see Hanako? Set things up?
Yeah, eventually.
Or abandoning Rogue, either standing her up during her date, or leaving during the Ebunike quest. Of all the endings, the Devil ending shapes the story to be an amazingly well-crafted Shakespearean-esque tragedy with familial bonds, multiple layers of deceit, betrayal, and even a Blade Runner 2049 feel as V and subsequently the player becomes a side character to the story of the Arasaka family. A lot of the variations within the Arasaka ending are based on decisions made within the story and whether or not you've selected the Corpo life path, as it adds unique optional dialogue frequently throughout this ending. When I say frequently, I mean at almost every important juncture. The Corpo dialogue choices start with the meeting at Embers and continue all the way to the Epilogue. Although they do not change the outcome, they create a unique interpretation of the story. In the first act, when discussing V's motivation for the heist, Corpo V has the option to state they joined the heist for revenge.
Most important.
Thinking Arasaka's due a little payback. Overdue.
Old wounds have yet to heal, huh?
Obviously, this fails miserably, and during Corpo V's first meeting with Hanako, if the player chooses, they can be respectful towards Hanako, and this continues in the Embers meeting.
I also know you're an honorable person, worthy of trust. And that's why I want to make you an offer.
You make me an offer?
Thanks for meeting me.
Of course, V. And I thank you.
The whole Embers meeting is littered with foreshadowing, and if you continue to side with Hanako and ignore and insult Johnny, he attempts to forcibly take over the body, and the guards react to sudden movement and draw their guns.
Jesus, I'm gonna fucking puke.
If you select dialogue during this meeting that is suspicious of Hanako or hurrying up the meeting, or just agreeing with Johnny, V remains in control.
Don't try anything.
Wait,
Is everything all right, Hanako-sama?
I am fine. He is not.
Here, the player is reintroduced to the idea that relic malfunctions can be triggered by a silver hand when he is repulsed by the situation.
You could use
Similar to other times he has taken over the body, the player can choose the way in which they interpret the events, as either an attempt to take over the body for himself, or an attempt to save V.
that the bio shit.
No, it's you, you asshole. Killing me, little by little, every damn day.
Little by little is not my style. It's the chick. It's Arasaka.
Fuck!
The elevator scene has so many variations to accommodate for every combination of ending, but I'm mainly showing the Corpo variation that's only available if you complete the Embers meeting before unlocking any of the other ones.
Not gonna be able to pry yourself out.
I know perfectly well how they operate. You don't play ball willingly, they force you. They don't play these kind of games. Don't invite you for a meal at a restaurant with a fucking grand piano.
Hey, you relax.
If we stand to gain anything from anyone inside Arasaka, it's her. So maybe.
Afterwards, when you discuss working with Arasaka with Misty, the Corpo unique dialogue will reveal the twisted, cyclical deduction that Corpo V believes in.
But V, they killed Jackie and now you're working for them?
Misty, listen. All this shit started because I decided to screw over the corp that used to sign my paychecks. If I can make things right, maybe... just maybe things will go back to normal.
I get it. They're only cards. Always open to interpretation.
When you are picked up from Misty's, one major decision is shown whether or not you saved Takamura. If you saved him, Takamura will show up back in Graces dressed in white, while Hellman serves as the chauffeur.
Like shit.
Compared to you, I do.
Shithole.
You look good.
I am back in Graces, as you say. No more hiding in filth. No more second-rate food.
There are 5 unique responses
go.
to Hellman's accusations of V working with Johnny, but the Corpo option was only available to
Wait a
me
minute.
when Takamura was not
When we
present.
last saw one another, we spoke of a construct in your head that could influence your decision-making. The same construct that, in its former life, detonated 2 nuclear warheads inside Arasaka Tower. And now you and this construct have volunteered to sort out things in Arasaka.
What is this about?
Has no one told you? Shame. The engram inside is Johnny fucking Silverhand. Recognize the name?
The terrorist?
think you might be out of line, Hellman. Hanako appointed you my chauffeur. So do your fucking job and drive me to North Oak.
Let us go.
Yes, but he's suppressed now. With beta blockers. But before I did that, he warned me against working with Arasaka. So tuck your suspicions where the sun don't shine before I start regretting not taking his advice.
That is enough for me. Let us go to the car. Hanako-sama is waiting.
He may be satisfied. I will be watching you.
When you arrive at the estate, Corpo V has the unique line of mentioning Abernathy in an attempt to enter.
Identify yourself.
Previously, during Give Me Danger,
Actually, I
this
should. Weber, IOC.
You. IOC. Right. Best turn around 3 times and disappear.
Name.
Huh?
Need your name, Sentry.
How about we start with yours? See, nobody told me about
Unscheduled inspection regarding sensitive data leaks. How about I raise the op exec on comms? Really want to tell Abernathy how she's supposed to proceed with this inspection?
Abernathy. I, didn't mean to.
Step aside and man your station.
Of course, yeah. Apologies, really.
However, this time,
I'm from IOC. Abernathy's initiated Protocol 4 procedures. Need to make sure every facility in Night City is secure.
Abernathy? The woman who committed suicide 2 days ago.
What?
Stay where you are.
Oh, couldn't be worse. Backup will get here in seconds.
Fuck! Fucking hell!
Fine work, chauffeur.
Piss off!
once you get close to the estate, the first thing I noticed was that Hanako discusses disabling communications, but this also includes the cameras in the area. Not only that, but the Netrunner doesn't even notice that the security has been breached either.
I repeat, internal security has not been compromised. Over. All systems are go for me. Standing by. Over.
Whilst at the estate, V is tasked to clear at least the 4 main guards preventing Hanako from leaving the estate, and depending on if you take them down lethally or non-lethally, she'll have unique dialogue lines.
Rather not dirty your hands, huh? Chances are you'll have to soon enough.
I am well aware.
We have a job to do. Need to keep it together for all our sakes.
I need do nothing.
Next, you will discuss how many team members you have, and Hanako will berate you if you decided to kill Oda.
The loaded word for any Arasaka.
Is that what you believe?
Just counting bodies. You, me, Goro, and Hellman makes 4. Well, actually 3.5.
There is Oda too. We will meet him there.
Pretty quick to get back on his feet.
Just counting bodies. You and me and Hellman makes 3. Actually 2.5.
Oda would be here if you had not.
It was him or me, Hanako. Anyway, against all Arasaka and its armies, that's not much.
After boarding the AV, if you save Takamura, he'll defend you from Hellman's accusations and you'll arrive at Arasaka Tower. Upon exiting the AV after you fall over, and if you decide to wait on the ground a little bit, the detail I missed was Hellman won't bother waiting for you, but Takamura and Hanako will.
You can do this. Slowly.
Thanks.
You can do it. We are almost there.
Was in counter intel a while. Never heard of this place, though.
Of course you did not hear of it. This is one of Arasaka's most closely guarded secrets.
Another detail that's evident in Saburo's office is that all of them have this family photo. However, Saburo has Yorinobu's face covered by a pen, simultaneously foreshadowing future turmoil and reminding us of the dysfunctional nature of their family.
Can't blame yourself.
I do not, but they could blame me. Come. Well, Zen.
Once you reach Mikoshi, it'll reveal one of the plot twists that Saburo created and maintained copies of himself. With 7 cool, you can optionally give Saburo the finger, or use this corporate dialogue line.
Never signed up for this.
I could not reveal anything until now.
Bullshit.
V, you are being disrespectful.
Got that right, you bastard! V! Silverhand sends his regards.
Hanakoの言う通りだな。確かにただものではない。
行きましょう。彼女がバカなことをしでかす前に。
準備はいいぞ、Hanako.
It's an honor to finally make your acquaintance. I used to work for Arasaka Counter Intel in Night City before...
私のテクノロジーと己の愚行によって身を滅ぼす前のことか。
We all make mistakes. I'm here to fix mine.
ならば道は誤っていない。生と死、その狭間にガラスがある。私たちの使命はその境界を限りなく薄くすることだ。お前はそのプロセスの一部となった。感謝しなくてはな。
Thanks won't be near enough.
心配するな。しかるべき代償は払う。準備はいいぞ、花子。
The next missable detail is dependent on a decision at the end of Act 1, what the player decided to do with Jackie's body. If you send the body to Vic, Arasaka will steal the body in an attempt to extract information. You can discuss this with Vic and Takumura if you decide to go on recon with him.
Vic Vector will take care of him. His family shouldn't see him like this.
Of course. Understood. Mr. Deshawn awaits you in room number 204.
See you in the major leagues, Jack.
You took care of Jackie's body?
I thought you knew. Damn it. Must have been knocked out when I talked about it.
What do you mean?
Arasaka. They swooped in, dug their claws into him.
What? Where'd they take him?
Not sure. Had me face down to the ground, hands on my head. Tried to learn something, but, well, you know how it is with corpos.
Fucking monos.
There's one thing you should know. It is about Mr. Wells.
About Jack? What is it?
When I set out to find you, others went to find Jackie. They took his body.
For the life of me, can't figure why. So his mom couldn't give him a proper send-off?
Arasaka has a method for pulling information from the dead.
What are you talking about?
Don't ask for details. I understand little. I know they use the Soul Killer program to do so. They can pull an engram from Wells' body. Damaged, incomplete, but still an engram.
Motherfuckers. Evil.
Jackie's psyche. Where are they keeping it?
This, I do not know.
Why am I only hearing this now?
I did not know I could trust you. The circumstances have changed.
Bakaneko got sick of us, looks like.
In contrast to the Saburo copy, Jackie's engram clearly is incomplete or damaged as a result of his death, and his responses are recycled lines he has used in conversation with V earlier. During this exchange, I kept Hanako in frame and noticed that she remained connected, as showcased with her eyes maintaining that blue light. I'm not sure if this means that she's like selecting dialogue responses whilst watching V.
I'm afraid these are two wholly different things. But let us see. Jackie Wells.
Chica! Finally! Mama told me things come to those who wait. Some are even good.
Jackie! How do you feel?
Checking to see if I'm not rotting in some dumpster, like most of the Wells boys. Thing is, the more I say everything's okay, the more I feel like I'm straight up lying.
Remember anything about what happened?
Hit the major leagues, chica. Running with Dex. Badass black Jesus of the afterlife. A heap of Bartley gold-plated cool. Not bad, eh?
Hey, never did get the chance to thank you.
The biochip. Hold on to it. For me.
Knew I could always count on you, Jack.
Shot of vodka on the rocks, lime juice, ginger beer, oh, and most importantly, a splash of love.
Misty misses you. Loads.
Oh, Misty. Listen, amiga. I got this thing. Mind if I borrow your wheels? Got a date with Misty, but can take the metro. How's that gonna look for me?
Take it easy, amigo.
Afterlife. See you there.
Did you get what you expected?
Go fuck yourself, Hanako.
And so we must move on.
Immediately after visiting Mikoshi, V will once again interpret a relic malfunction as Johnny protesting or attempting to interfere.
Oh, Johnny, fuck no. Not now.
The next reveal will showcase whether or not you saved Takamura, Oda, both, or neither.
These your people?
In a manner of speaking.
Meaning?
To what extent they have faith in me or my money, I do not know.
Guess it'd be all the same to them, wouldn't it?
You are never one to mince words.
That's why you brought me here. Anyway, motivations aside, what's important is that they shoot in the right direction.
As a last resort, and only then.
You mean when the board rejects every word out of our mouths?
If, not when.
The next couple of conversations are based on whether or not you saved Takamura. They're fascinating, showing how Hanako's faction, in comparison to Yorinobu's, lacks military power and loyalty. Additionally, V attempts to disillusion Takamura's idealistic image of Arasaka by discussing the fact that Saburo has copied himself without his notice.
Just these.
The rest are in position, ready to do as instructed. These are the most effective by match and loyal.
To me, or to my money?
I would say it's 20% to 80, Hanako-sama.
Very well. It will have to do. Now come.
You in on this?
In on what?
Saburo's comeback. Just spoke to his construct.
What?
He digitized his engram. Made copies. In case he died.
No. He would have told me.
Why? So you take your job as his bodyguard lightly?
Aryan.
Feel that, Goro? Night City just gave you another kick in the nuts. Run and start this time.
Once you reach the board meeting, the guards that surround it can either be netrunners or regular guards, depending on whether or not you save Takamura.
Where is he? I am late. Apologies. Hanako, what are you doing here? My brother, where is he?
During the meeting, I personally enjoyed letting the timer run out here just to hear Hanako verbally blast one of the board members for your seat.
Are you deaf? Give up your seat. Now.
Despite the meeting going well with Saburo's engram, when all the elite soldiers come and murder most of the board members, you may notice that there is one additional survivor, Michiko Arasaka, Saburo's granddaughter. There's a lot of fascinating details about her on the wiki, but I'm not sure if she'll be significant in any future expansions or events.
Hanako-sama, I can be of assistance.
So be it. But he is not to be harmed. You are to capture him, nothing more.
When you return to the elevator, you can discuss with Takamura whether or not you'll take on the next levels stealthily or guns blazing. If you did not save Takamura, you'll have to do this section alone with only the guidance of Hanako. Additionally, if you go about this stealthily without getting caught by cameras or guards, there'll be significantly less enemies to fight. Once you reach the Smasher fight, the first unique detail is the fact that he starts with 100% HP, unlike in 2 of the other endings where he starts with 80%. Also, in this version of the Smasher fight, Smasher will be reinforced by 4 Mantis Blade users and 2 heavy units as opposed to the mech, snipers, and heavy gunners in the other endings. There are also some unique exchanges which occur between Takamura and Smasher.
It is angry! The beast is angry! Rightly so. He did not deserve mercy.
And Smasher, don't bother trying to get up. You pile of junk.
Mercy for this thing?
It's never too late. Something to think about.
If you save Takamura, you'll have 2 very polarizing options to choose from based on your view of Arasaka. Regardless, this might be the only time Takamura bows to V. His newfound respect for V will continue in the epilogue.
Thanks, Goro. Can't believe we actually pulled it off.
Go, V. Finish what we started.
Do yourself a favor, Goro. Ghost. Get out of here.
Pardon?
Forget Arasaka. Don't you get it? You were Saburo's bodyguard, and you failed him. Think they're gonna raise their glasses to you?
I do not know.
Hit the streets. Disappear. Get gigs, feed cats. Just stay clear of Arasaka.
You know, I cannot do that. But I thank you. Truly. Go, V. Finish what we started.
You are once again surrounded by jungle, except this time, if you use your Kiroshi optics to zoom, you can see multiple birds. It's fascinating how in this dystopian future, jungle and nature has become so scarce that it is a prized possession of the mega wealthy. Once you reach Yorinobu's office, there's another photo of the Arasakas, except this time Saburo's head is covered. Here are all of their photos: Saburo's, Hanako's, and Yorinobu. Interestingly, you get to see the back of Hanako's copy, and there's a proverb on the back which loosely translates to, "Don't forget where you came from." This emphasizes the importance of family, which makes the following scenes more tragic. If you check the computer, there's also a complaint about Smasher. The final discussion with Yorinobu has several missable details, first being a Shakespearean reference.
Violent delights with violent ends.
Yorinobu and Smasher both refer to V as you, implying that to them, V is insignificant or relatively unknown. Yorinobu's concern for his sister and well-being reveals the plot twist that he never intended to harm her and wanted to wipe out the board.
She was to remain at the estate. Stay out of the way. I tried to protect her. Any danger she was in was because of you. No one else. Where is she?
Be here any sec now. Until then, supposed to watch you. So don't try anything.
What would I try? I have tried.
Initially, the pistol is perceived as a weapon to be used by Yorinobu to kill V, but he later reveals that it was for himself. Secondly, Yorinobu reveals his intention of a synchronized global attack on several branches of Arasaka, embodying a bomb that was potentially more devastating than Silverhand's failed one.
Know what I see? A corporate coup that failed. Your men out there, spilling blood for no reason. Won't last long though.
Kyoto. Dubai. Paris. These people had a chance today, but they lost it.
A chance? A chance for what?
To forget their fear.
This how you want to help people forget their fear? By killing them. Sorry. Just don't get it.
Fear. Ever since I can remember, the one thing I cannot deny him. He knew how to cause fear in people.
Saburo.
He once told me anything of value is only a flag blowing in wind. And wind is fear. And then, you know what he did? Blew in my face. That was the one time he was wrong. And others? It worked on them. They feared him. Even now, you saw. Idiots terrified of a dead man talking from a box. Pathetic. I would change that. If only you did not appear.
You're even worse than him. Saburo ruled with an iron fist, but he didn't need a purge to hold on to power.
Power? You? You think I wanted power? 50 years ago, terrorists blew this building into smoke.
Yeah, so I heard.
And? What did it give us?
Not much.
Nothing. But I learned a lesson. If planting bombs not enough, what can you do? You become bomb. Hanako.
兄さん。
待っていたぞ。世界が崩れ去るときは必ずお前がそこにいる。
やめて。人の前よ。I thank you, V. That will be all.
Not all. Not yet.
I will keep my end of our agreement. You will go with Hellman.
Finally, as V no longer has any strength to change their actions, you are doomed to watch Yorinobu turn into that which he tried to destroy, Saburo
Only to
himself.
become that very same thing. Quite literally.
The devil ending version of Mikoshi is somewhat unique as it is seemingly not impacted by tapeworm decisions, unlike the other variations. Furthermore, unlike the other endings, the devil ending poses multiple existential questions as V and Johnny go through an identity crisis. The first unique detail about the devil Mikoshi is shown when you try to grab Johnny's shoulder. Unlike the first act when you meet him, he turns around before you can grab his shoulder, setting the tone of mistrust.
And you? Who are you? It worked. I did it. Johnny, Hanako kept her word.
Looking at you now reminds me of the moment we met. Still see that same small-time merc, little thief with his head in the clouds. Haven't changed a bit.
There's a huge amount of dialogue branches and choice here based on the player's interpretation of Arasaka and their relationship with Johnny Silverhand. I'll be showing a few of these choices as well as the corpus-specific one.
Here I stand, looking at an old pic of myself back in the day. Rogue, Alt, others. Abandoned them all. And now here's you, abandoning me, abandoning yourself.
Got no right to judge me.
Couldn't be more wrong. Biochip did more than just blend our memories. That line that kept V and Silverhand separate, well, faded a while back.
How's that give you the right to talk down to me?
I'm the V who mourns our pal, Jackie. The V who's fucking livid at Brigitte. I'm the V with a heavy conscience. And you. Who are you? I. Who's this I? You even know?
I know I'm not looking in the rear view. I'm stronger than I've ever been. I won my goddamn life back.
You sure talk the talk, but I know better. Feel the same way you do.
I don't give a fuck what you think you know.
Now that sounds like a Silverhand original.
That was the deal we made.
That's seriously what you
I'd
want?
stay. You'd go.
Deal was to fight, side by side, have each other's backs.
And we did that. We won.
Better to die on your feet than live on your knees. You sold a part of yourself, of us, to a megacorp. Was it really worth it?
What choice did I have?
Stay true to yourself? Give a thought to a tiny concept called loyalty?
No such thing as us. I am V. You are Johnny Silverhand. Hell, you're a fucking construct.
Gonna deny who you are, ignore who you've become. Sold a piece of your soul to the devil. You are no longer all there. You are not you.
Things didn't go as Johnny planned. Wanted. So Johnny needs someone to blame. And pinning every little thing on Arasaka got old a long, long time ago.
Arasaka's got nothing to do with this. This is about trust. About who you're turning into.
If you're all paranoid about being thrown...
Johnny's final words to V are based solely on the dialogue selected here. Regardless, Johnny will view it as a betrayal.
It's not about Arasaka. Not even about life and death.
No, it's you who doesn't understand. Always been lost. And if anyone near you had their shit figured out, you couldn't stand it. Alt, Rogue, Carry, all of them.
Different times. I've changed.
Dirty bomb, destructive Johnny. bringing everyone and everything around him to ruin in the name of his death wish. Not about to be your next victim. I've got a life to live.
Sure, yeah. But what's it worth?
Conversation's pointless. Just get the fuck out of my life.
Sorry, no mute button on your conscience. A part of me'll always be with you. Always.
It has been a real ride, Johnny. Not one I'll regret, but not one I'll miss either.
Oh, you'll regret it. Lose a friend and you always regret it. Remember Jackie's last words? About the chip? Hold on to it, V. For me, guess not everybody gets their last wish.
I don't want to drag this out. Just see you around, Johnny. And thanks for everything. If not for you, I'd be long dead. Several times over.
Remember what Dex asked you? Quiet life or blaze of glory?
Sure, I remember.
Shame you chose wrong. Damn shame.
The Devil Ending Epilogue is full of references and metaphors. The first is the ship of Theseus, questioning if something, in this case V, remains the same if their components have been replaced or the biochip has been removed.
Is the ship of Theseus, dismantled into component parts and reassembled, still the same ship? We are pioneers, the first to ever separate mentally conjoined twins. Yes, in the end, even the human soul can go under the knife.
The guard is citing a haiku in Kyoto, or even in Kyoto.
I hear the cuckoo calling and long for Kyoto.
These visuals are tested by reading an extract from the Myth of Ur, which you can find a shard of earlier. It's essentially a story about the afterlife from the perspective of a soldier who died and was resurrected, which of course parallels V, who has experienced death at least twice.
Choose its life. Sometimes pitiable, sometimes laughable, at times wonderful and strange.
There's even an empathy test, which mirrors the Voight-Kampff test in Blade Runner, or a Turing test.
Tall, green plants as far as the eye can see. The sun is bright, blinding. The stalks of corn part as you walk forward. You come across a clearing left by an automated combine in its wake.
What's this test for anyway?
It tests your level of empathy. The heat has made your mouth dry and sticky. You spot a rodent's nest at your feet. The machine has torn through the soft soil. You spot blind, newborn field mice around their mother. The machine has left her sliced in two. They lie in perfect symmetry, a tiny rodent rosette. Your mouth begins to water.
That's enough.
The test is necessary.
I said enough.
We shall return to it later.
One detail I missed in my original playthrough was just how cutthroat Saburo Arasaka is. This is exemplified in his journal, where he talked about nuking Night City if he lost the biochip. Unlike in the other epilogues, there's an implied de-escalation of the corporate wars between Arasaka and Militech. This is the result of Saburo's return, having achieved immortality and stabilizing Arasaka.
Appears to have diffused the situation between the rival megacorporations. 継続は力なり。荒坂社の基本理念です。息子の頼信はこの言葉を忘れ、焦って変化を求めすぎました。私が敵味方両者に説き続けてきた教訓。完璧なものを変える必要はない。これが真理なのです。以上となります。 Saburo Arasaka and NUS President Rosalind Myers have agreed to meet in person to lay the groundwork for a lasting peace.
This is the regular call list if you've helped and or romanced the romanceable characters. Each of these characters will have unique dialogue if you've romanced them or not. However, this is the call list if you haven't helped them. The limited call list makes an already dark and depressing ending hit even harder if you completed an evil playthrough and completed the ending before helping any of the romanceable characters. You'll essentially only have Vic to call. Interestingly, you can solve the 2x2 Rubik's Cube instead of throwing it away and venting your frustration.
Shit, it worked.
The final variation depicted is once again based on whether or not you've saved Takamura. I find both Hellman's and Takamura's dialogue interesting. There's also a few corpo-specific lines here as well. So if you didn't save Takamura, Hellman will discuss how the Arasakas are now gods, and you'll have a lot of technical discussion about why V can't simply be put into a new body. One of the dialogue lines I missed in my original playthrough was one discussing Alt Cunningham with Hellman as well.
So Saburo Arasaka's returned, in Yorinobu's body.
We live in strange times.
Not freaked? That doesn't faze you?
Half my life I worked to give Saburo Arasaka immortality. In so doing, I grew accustomed to the thought of his resurrection.
It's not just his immortality. Saburo stole his own son's body.
Saburo is the first human to ever reach for and achieve a divine state. The gods stand above good and evil.
No, Alt Cunningham was first.
A surprising comparison, yet accurate on many counts.
Wondering why they sent you of all people.
I am the bearer of bad news. Bad enough that it should come from someone you know. As it turns out, I'm the only familiar face for thousands of miles around.
As it turns out, I really did die and go to hell.
Listen to me. The procedure was a success. We removed the biochip. But the damage it wrought proved enormous. At the genetic level, altered DNA. The kind you would find in those suffering from radiation sickness. And sadly, it's lethal. You may join our pilot program. Secure your soul. I fear your body is no longer of any use. You must abandon it. We will create an engram of your mind and store it in Mikoshi.
Store it? Why can't I just get a new body?
We have yet to solve the compatibility issue.
Doesn't sound like you had much of a problem with Saburo Arasaka.
You have no offspring. Nor do you have an entire clinic focused solely on your care.
How am I supposed to know this isn't another one of your tricks?
A trick?
Maybe Arasaka just wants to punish a pain-in-the-ass thief. Maybe Saburo just wants another soul in his collection.
The Arasakas have become gods. You are nothing to them. Insignificant.
So this has to be your sweet revenge. Look at you. Your life's work has turned Saburo into a god. Yet here you stand, a mere mortal.
That would make two of us. Why would I seek to punish my companion in distress? My employer has made you an offer. We should finish discussing it.
So let's say I agree. Land in Arasaka's soul prison. Put myself at their mercy. Do I even need to ask about the catch?
All is set forth in a contract, guaranteed therein. You must merely sign it. If you wish to live, that is.
On the other hand, you have Takamura, who seems to have fallen from grace, or at the very least seems to be no longer guarding Saburo. His clothing is clearly contrasted to the white he was wearing earlier in this ending, and apparently he has a new assignment back in Japan. Throughout this conversation, he maintains his undying, unwavering loyalty towards Arasaka. However, if you idle in between dialogue, this might be the only time he actually uses an honorific to address V.
Speak with you.
Sasaburo Arasaka's back. In Yorinobu's body.
Yes, justice has been done.
So, got your revenge? Feel satisfied?
I believe Hanako Arasaka chose the best solution.
The Arasakas belong in some sad old tragedy. Some Shakespeare-level shit there. Yorinobu especially.
You regret his fate?
Wanted out of his dad's shadow, whatever the cost. Died at the hand of his worst nightmare. What are you gonna do now? Still aim to protect Saburo's ass?
I have been transferred to Japan. I will fly from here to Takamatsu.
Why?
New times, new duties. But we say far too much about me.
Who asked you? Who wanted you to talk to me? Hanako?
She has forgotten you already. They called from here, from the clinic.
And what did they say?
They said someone should talk with you. Someone you know. I will be blunt. The surgery did not help. V-san. It is written here that you relinquish all rights, but do not worry. The law is simply behind the times, and Ingram is not legally a person.
So I get to be corporate property first.
Like many brain-dance stars and politicians from what I know, the program is a success. There have been no complaints.
And if I say no?
This is not a prison. You will take your things and return to Night City. Why you? I would sign, but the choice is yours. Think it through carefully.
The contract is awful. Sure, both Hellman and Takamura try to explain it away, which honestly makes it worse.
Arasaka keeps its word. Always.
I want to live.
As do most. There's no point in delaying. We can begin immediately.
See you in the future, I hope.
Yes. See you.
Don't want to die.
A good choice. The Engram station is ready for you. We should not wait for your condition to worsen.
Gonna see each other again?
I believe we will.
So, see you.
Visit me in Kagawa. I will show you what is real food.
Hajime, let me ask you something. What would you say to a person who walked right into their greatest foe's jail to save their life?
I would say, all right, but do not forget the way home.
Made my decision. I'm going back to Earth. Going home.
You will die there.
Goodbye, Anders. Your offer was shit. But in making it, you gave me something better.
What are you talking about?
Before, death was inevitable. A fact of my shit life. You let me choose it. Accept it on my terms.
Made my decision. Going back to Earth. Going home.
You will die there.
You're all right, Takamura. I like you. Thanks for coming all the way up here to help. But one thing you never understood, and never will.
What is that?
Got no idea how sweet it is to be free.
You speak out of bitterness. Please reconsider.
No. This here's goodbye. But I'm not gonna forget you. What we did together.
Goodbye, V.
The Devil or Arasaka ending is one of the best crafted endings and really suits the cyberpunk genre. It is especially suited for an evil playthrough, or a selfish V that refused to help anyone, or even a V that wants to avoid death at all costs. This ending left me wanting more. I really want to see things from Yorinobu's perspective and just learn more about the Arasaka.
Never fade away. I see your eyes, I know you see me. You're like a ghost, how you're everywhere.
I also really appreciate dark dystopian stories and the manipulative tone embodied by the different factions within Arasaka. When you go back and replay this ending, you'll notice how many dialogue lines act as red herrings designed to throw the player off the plot twists within it. Thanks everybody for watching. Plenty of other Cyberpunk videos on the channel. I plan on doing more playthroughs to look for other variations, and I'm considering streaming them. More Cyberpunk videos to come. See you next time, Chooms.